Yeah.
And I think that this whole situation is a time for people to understand where priorities lie.
Yes, ma'am.
No doubt about it.
When our country can pay athletes as much as they do to bounce a ball or throw a ball, yet we can't get enough PPE in the hospitals or ventilators.
Right.
We can't get enough ventilators.
Yes.
That shouldn't even be a discussion.
Gold Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my moto vlogs.
Man, y'all go get me hyped up. What's going on, everybody? Your boy Caliente out here in the Caliente garage, doing it Facebook Live, doing like a Caliente reunion tonight. We got the whole crew in the house, everybody. How's everybody doing?
All good, all good.
What's happening, Chris?
Can you guys hear me on Facebook okay? Can you guys hear me on Facebook okay?
Everything good here.
Y'all hear me okay? Good
Yes,
deal, good deal. We're just trying to do it tonight. We got some special guests in the house tonight that's on with us live. We got Jason in the house. You with us, Jason?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, Chris.
Jason is out of Arkansas. We got Composure out of Tennessee. You with us, Composure?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Can't forget about Brother Cowboy. You with us, Brother Cowboy? Yeah! Brother Cowboy is out there in Texas. We got D-Lo in the house from Las Vegas. You with us, D-Lo?
And you know this, man.
And we got to give it up for Wes out in Washington, D.C. You with us, Wes?
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
We got Mark from California, Moto Man. You with us, Mark?
Welcome, everybody. I'm with you.
Can't forget about my boy Charles out there in North Carolina. You with us, Charles?
Yes, sir. Blessings, everybody. Blessings, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody doing?
And all the way from Arkansas, riding on a Spider, needing no introduction, riding more miles than the average man. Give it up for the one, the only Lady Love in the house.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
What's up, Lady Love?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right now.
We
Doing
just trying
well,
to do it here live in the Caliente garage. I see a lot of you guys are tuning in. We on lockdown here in Memphis. I'm not sure where you guys live. They got it locked down. They want everybody off the streets by 6 o'clock. They want these businesses closed unless they are important, like a store or a doctor's office or something like that. But just for the average business, they want everybody off the streets by 6 o'clock. So if you guys are not in the house, you in violation if you're down here in Memphis.
Wow.
So
That's pretty powerful.
A lot more stringent out there than it is in California.
Yeah.
okay. What is the mood like out there in California there, Mark?
Well, we're on the safer at home order. We can move around. We're not getting a whole lot of compliance. In fact, the most predominant mayor out in this area is the mayor of LA, Garcetti, and Gavin Newsom, our governor. They're not happy with the lack of compliance that we're getting out here in California. People just don't seem to be taking it serious, and I think they're getting ready to drop the hammer on us and impose some harsher restrictions. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think everybody's feeling this effect of the coronavirus. A lot of states are locking down, and like I said the other day, Mark, you out there in California. Here in Tennessee, we kind of follow the big states. So if they lock down California, it's just a matter of time before it starts moving east. Brother Cowboy, what is it out there like there in Texas?
Oh man, we're going on lockdown tonight as of today. It'll be locked down. I think 12 midnight. Everybody's supposed to be in. other than not, essential workers. They're gonna everybody else that can work from home. Sister Cowgirl, she works from home, so she can she'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you
gotta
kind of
hit it though.
Yeah. Now, what about is the streets pretty crowded? Or are they pretty empty out there in Texas, or what seems to be the situation out there in Texas as far as?
No, it's starting to my ride in to work on the bike is like I'm by myself now, it's getting pretty bad, man.
Yeah. Now you mentioned something to me about the lines. You was telling me that you guys was.
Yeah, we went this weekend to Home Depot. We were gonna get some we get the water, the 5-gallon water for the cooler.
Right.
And we have some, but we wanted to stock up just in case things started to get like that.
Right.
And we were too late, man, because we got there. We pulled up in the parking lot. They had lines just trying to get in the store, man. You're just waiting.
Wow.
And I told her, baby, we're not gonna wait for this. We'll be okay.
Wow.
They're letting 25 people in at a time, and then when one comes out or two comes out, they'll let you go in that way.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the norm now for all the other states that jump on the bandwagon, because here in California they did panic shopping, and we're still getting a little bit of that where people are going irate in the markets, but that's what's going to slow the panic shopping down, is limiting the amount of items you can buy and limiting the amount of people that could be in any store at any given time, just so that we can practice that social distancing. So I think that's going to be, for the next, probably month and a half, that's what you're going to see nationwide.
Okay. Now, D-Lo, has anything changed out there in Vegas as far as the mood that's going on out there? You was telling me that it was the streets was kind of empty the other day, right?
Yeah, it is. You guys, I sent Chris a link earlier about one of the other hotels, the Cannery Hotel Casino, which is on Craig Road, right before you get to Interstate 15. And hopefully, Chris, you'll be able to put that in the link later on. But yeah, it's like a ghost town. And for Nevada to, Las Vegas rather, to be the entertainment capital of the world, man, it's tough for those in the hotel casino industry and business. I mean, I have friends, losing money. And people are just very, very nervous because in Las Vegas, that's the driving force of the economy here, and you never see nothing like this ever. None of us have, but especially for Las Vegas, just to shut down every casino is unbelievable. Our governor, in Las Vegas, Governor Steve Sisolak, he still wants all Nevadans to do their due diligence and stay home. We don't have a lockdown as of yet, but it's getting there because unfortunately, let me read this real quick.
Okay.
Sad to report, Chris, as of today, March 24th, 2020, Southern Nevada Health District has reported 6 total COVID-19 deaths. We now have 278 known cases in Nevada, and it's just kind of scary because, as well as you guys know, people can have it and don't even know it. And that's what frustrates me the most, especially being a first responder and being out there making contact with people. That's the hardest part because you just don't know. And I hope and pray a couple of things. That one thing is that we can get enough testing kits or locations or whatever you want to call it, just so people can get a test, just to have a peace of mind. I hate the fact that the message is going out saying that you only need to get tested if you got symptoms. Well, from what I understand, there's a lot of cases where people have got the virus and didn't have any symptoms,
Yeah.
So I would rather be a little more proactive than reactive, so to speak.
Right.
But to make to tie my end up here for this question, yeah, pretty much we're not on lockdown, but it's a ghost town on the Strip and the surrounding neighborhoods.
Yeah, and we're also joined by Fab One, who's out there in Manhattan, New York.
Hey Ben, good to see you on, Ben.
Hey, Fab.
Bro.
Good to see everyone, and I apologize to all for being so late. I had to finish up on a conference call that took a little more longer than I anticipated. So again, I apologize to all.
No worries, sir.
None at all. Yes, sir.
Now, Fab One, what is the mood like out there in New York? You know, I'm sitting here reading they saying about New York should self quarantine as well. What are the streets like out there in New York?
Unless there are first responders that are out there, the streets are pretty desolate. The only ones that I saw, and I went out for a quick moment, that were out there were people that were taking walks, brisk walks in the park, walking their dogs. Didn't see too many children outside. It wasn't like it was a few days ago when Governor Cuomo had did a tour of the 5 boroughs, and he was extremely upset of the younger generation out there jogging, and they were standing very close, practically on top of one another, to seeing the children out there on their bicycles and whatnot. And he was not just talking like a governor, he was talking like a parent, because he is a parent. And he was just saying it's a devastating mistake to be out and carrying like as though there's nothing going on, unless you are a first responder or unless you were trying to go to the store to buy necessities and then come right back home. You should be home, period.
Yeah. And also, I was reading that the United States, the cases is up to 50,000 cases. 50,000 coronavirus cases are growing in the U.S. And as I said before, I believe that once more tests are available, they're going to see a spike in number. But on a good note, the stock market was up today. I don't know if any of you guys keep up with
it. It was up today. That may not remain. It may just be a one-day thing, because I'm looking on the Johns Hopkins site while we're on there. Right now, at this moment, there's 53,740 confirmed cases in the U.S.
Right.
And then when looking on this extended map, if you're panning out, the United States, North America, looks almost totally engulfed in red dots.
Right.
Now, when I zoom in, give me a second. When I zoom in and have it repopulate, I can definitely tell you the outer reaches of the entire eastern seaboard is totally red.
Okay.
And judging from what had happened over the last couple of days, it is going westwards for some reason. Whether people are leaving the hot spots of the East Coast and they're going out west to family and whatnot, you can see it literally spreading by this updated database.
Wow.
Hey, well, look, if they ain't got a gold wing, I ain't gonna let them get past this way. So I'm just
Oh, Jason, have you heard anything as far as Arkansas? What is the mood like there over in Arkansas where you live?
They are shutting down more businesses, and today I actually had to go get tags for that new motorcycle, and the courthouse is shut down. They're not letting anybody in.
Okay.
They'll answer the phone to do business, but I did go to the revenue office to actually get the tag and pay the taxes, and they are letting people in, but they've got a barrier up to where you can't get up to the counter. You just kind of have to, stay away. They don't want to. They get so many people coming in and out of there, but other than that, it's just like everywhere else. I guess they're just slowly shutting more things down, trying to get more people to stay at home and comply, because you don't realize, like D-Love said, people don't realize they have it because there's no symptoms. You go and talk to 2 or 3 people, they contract it to them, and then they go talk to another 2 or 3 people, and nobody's got any symptoms until a week later, and that's it's just spreading so fast like that.
Right. Well, I know here in Memphis, they even are reporting that the airport activity is down to 85%. And the airport is basically empty down here in Memphis, according to some of the news sources here. Under executive order, they want everybody off the streets by 6 p.m. They want the non-essential businesses closed. And anybody that's out there needs to have a valid reason, like they're going to work or going to the hospital or maybe going to the grocery store. But they basically don't want anybody out in the streets. It's basically a ghost town here in Memphis as well. I know Beale Street is empty and a lot of the businesses are closed. And I think everybody's feeling the effect of this coronavirus as it spreads.
Can I say something on that note?
Yeah, go ahead, Sister Cowgirl, Sister Sue.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, Sue.
How is everybody? Y'all look so handsome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so on that note, with all these businesses closing down, everybody I know is really focused on infection control and not spreading the illness and the virus, not contracting the virus, and taking good infection control practices. That's a big, big thing right now. Yes, social distancing. I've tried to social distance from Brother Cowboy, but it's not been going too well. But
well, let me say this, Sister Cowgirl, for you that may be tuning in or may not know, Sister Cowgirl is actually a nurse. So just would like
I graduate actually in August. I graduate with my master's in public health.
Whoa!
So,
Congratulations! Alrighty, congratulations.
Public health is very important to me. I'm very interested in it. But I want people to try to also look at this part when you start talking about businesses being closed and our stock market and our economy. And the things that come to my mind is, what about these families where, let's say, for instance, you have a single mother who her only job is working at a restaurant making minimum wage, and not even that sometimes, and they live off their tips.
Yeah.
And they have 3 kids at home. What about the ones who they go into school, the children go into school, that's how they get their meals because they don't have enough food at home. So what I'm trying to focus on is not only just the infection control practices, is let's look around and see if we can identify anybody who fits in that other category of economical crisis right now, and see if we can't reach out and help. I heard a lot of pastors really stressing that now, just because the churches are closed, a lot of people are doing their church through YouTube, through social media and all. But don't forget to continue to tithe and give to the churches, because the churches are actually donating a lot of food and funding to these families that I mentioned that fit in that category. So that's where my heart is right now. Staying indoors, away from the virus, and trying to figure out, where am I needed? How can I stay indoors and help someone else?
Right.
So
we're doing it right now.
That's just something I wanted to point out.
Thank you, Sister Sue. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're so welcome.
Yeah. Now let me.
I don't know if y'all are getting this down there, but here in Texas, what they're starting to do is, if you're an essential worker and you have to go to work, they're giving you a letter. that you got to keep on you at all times in case
At
you
all
are
times.
stopped
That's
by
correct.
the authorities. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got one in the bike, I've got one in the truck, the car, you know, just so I don't forget, you know.
Exactly.
Because I'm in a position where I have to go, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm out there and I'm doing what I got to do.
Right.
Likewise, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris.
we got this
go ahead.
same letter today too, Brother Cowboy. We got that for me and my team also.
Right.
Got the same letter.
Hey, Chris and everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, I'm sorry, you guys. I know everybody's getting the word in, but tell you how quick this thing's spreading in Nevada. As of yesterday, March the 23rd, 2020, we had reported 212 positive COVID-19 cases.
Right.
Today, Tuesday, at 7:30 a.m., from 212 to 278.
Wow.
Look how quickly one day did.
Right.
And that's being reported from the Nevada Department of Health and Human Resource Services here in Nevada. So
I heard today was the first day that they reported a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Under 18 years of age.
Yeah.
They didn't specify how old the child was, but the child was under 18 years of age.
That is correct.
Wow. And Mark, I'm really glad you brought out that point of age, because Chris, I don't know if you've heard, but up here in Tennessee, Tennessee has been designated as one of those states where we have the highest millennial uptick in confirmed cases. Wow. Because I think a lot of that initial messaging had a lot to do with that as well, because that initial messaging was that it was a lower impact on the younger people. It was a little easier on them. We had to be more concerned about our senior citizens. And so we all know that some of the perspectives of some of our millennial children and brothers and sisters, they're invincible. They, you know, much like we were when we were younger, but not with so many challenges that this millennial population face. Right. So as Chris said, or I think D'Lo said it, as we begin to test more people, there are people. What I told my wife initially when this really first started happening was assume that everybody you come in contact with has it and act accordingly. Right. Because you just do not know. People can walk around with minimal symptoms, no symptoms. They're flu. From my research, it seems they're just flu-like symptoms at first, and then you get some really telltale signs. But you just need to act accordingly. We need to be respectful of one another and do what's been mandated, because that growth that D'Lo was just mentioning in Nevada, it's going to be nationwide, it's global, it's worldwide. That's what happened in Italy, and it will exponentially start to spread in even higher numbers if we don't start to really adhere to the social distancing and the staying at home unless it's just absolutely necessary and you're essential.
If I could I real quick? You know, here's the problem is again, people aren't taking this seriously. And Fab One, I think you can attest to that, in that New Jersey has a mandate that anybody that comes into their state from New York has to self-quarantine for 14 days. Now, I don't even know how that's possible to regulate that. But the problem is everybody thinks that if they're out and about and they're staying minimally apart from someone, that they're safe. They're not going to, you can't possibly know enough about this virus to protect yourself 100%. So that's why they're saying, look, isolate yourself. It's not going to walk into your house. Someone's going to bring it into your home. Right. So that's why they're saying isolate yourself, stay inside your house so you know that it didn't walk into your house. And you're going to be fine. But people just aren't getting this. They're not understanding it. And, you know, everybody says that, well, it's, you know, some mild flu-like symptoms. Well, yeah, maybe so. But, you know, it has to be something big, because, I mean, look at where we're at right now. And none of us have ever experienced a shutdown like this ever in our lives. And so it's not just a common flu.
I heard today that there is a 26-year-old athlete, very healthy, is on a ventilator in near death off of this virus.
That is correct. That is correct, Sister Sue. I was just gonna, because Chris, I don't know if you saw this as well, but
that should say a lot right there.
That is it. That is it. They showed the lungs. They actually showed the X-ray on the evening news.
Yeah, it's just that serious. It's just that serious.
Of 30-year-old millennial, healthy.
Confirmed
They
case.
showed the cloud in his lungs in that X-ray, and Sister Sue, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they showed all of that fluid and how it looks on an X-ray. And now that individual is on life support, 30 years old, healthy, probably that non-smoker, no problem. We've got. And Chris, thank you for this platform, because hopefully just us as just ordinary people, Sister Sue and her acumen and expertise. I know Fab One gives us so many good analytics. D-Lo as well. Hopefully we can get through on this platform, because we know they live on YouTube and social media. So hopefully with just us as everyday people taking the time out, maybe we can start to drive this home, because it is so very important.
It is, and we thank you, Chris, for bringing this, man. We can't thank you enough, brother.
And you're welcome, D-Lo. And one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of have this platform is because, you know, we all can turn on the television and we all can turn on the news. And we listen to the things that the media say. But the thing about being here in the Caliente Facebook group, and while we do it live, you get to hear it from everyday, ordinary people. I mean, you know, when you turn on the television, you don't know those people. You don't know, what they are subject to tell you.
Right.
But here in the group,
Yes.
We are scattered about all across the country. And you get a chance to hear experiences and numbers from people, everyday, ordinary people. I mean, we're not getting paid to do this. This is not a paid service. We're not a part of the media. I mean, we're just trying to just inform people to let them know how serious that this coronavirus really is. And
amen.
And here in the United States, you're talking 52,000 confirmed cases, almost 53,000. 704 people have been killed with this coronavirus. New York is reporting they got 25,665. So it's actually showing New York as being the highest confirmed cases. New Jersey 3,675. Washington 2,469. The list goes on. Here in Tennessee 667. It's serious. There where you are in DC, West, 349 confirmed cases. So this thing is spreading across the country. Hawaii is reporting 77 confirmed cases. So it's very serious. So we don't need to take this situation lightly. I know that some people are probably tired of hearing about this when they turn on the TV. This is all you're hearing about is this coronavirus, but it's just that serious. And we also need to talk about things that we could actually do to protect ourselves. We're talking about the confirmed cases, and we know that it's spreading, and we know that it's serious. But let me ask you guys, what are some of the things that you are doing to protect yourself? How are you actually preparing? Like I said, here in Memphis, we on lockdown after 6 o'clock. They don't want anybody out. So I know you guys are all scattered out. Jason is in Arkansas. Brother Cowboy's in Texas. D-Lo is in Las Vegas. Wes is in DC. MOTO Mark is in California. Charles is in North Carolina. And Fab One is in New York. But what are some of the things that you guys are doing to actually protect yourself? How are you actually preparing? Because things are going to get worse. So I'm going to ask, I want to direct that first question to Brother Cowboy. If you don't mind answering that question for us.
Well, as a matter of fact, Sister Cowgirl has come up with, the hand sanitizer. Everybody's just going crazy and you can't find the hand sanitizer. Well, she has, D-Lo. But she's doing something that's I'm going to put up here pretty soon so everybody can go and see. She's showing you how to make hand sanitizer from things that we have, So she has a channel, Sister Sue Speaks Body, Mind, and Soul, and we're gonna be putting up showing you how she makes the hand sanitizer that you can do yourself. So that's one of the things, Well, you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to tell them how to do it. So the hands. I don't know if you know that one of the ingredients for this is 90% isopropyl alcohol. Well, everybody's just about bought all that off the shelves too. Can't find it. So there's, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of HibiCleanse, which doctors use to instruct their patients to shower with before they have surgery. It's got,
I don't know. You're the medical person.
I don't know why it slipped my mind, but
Yeah,
it's got a chemical in there, HibiCleanse, and it's substituted for alcohol, but you use that and aloe vera gel, and you use some lavender essential oil. You mix all that up, and you've got a hand sanitizer. But the other things besides doing things like that, we kind of got concerned about the economy and telling what we did at the bank.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were wondering the next step if anybody's thinking like this. With all these people out of jobs, the economy's coming to a stop. There's nothing moving, and it's going to get to a point where, I try to look at history, the Great Depression, 1929, what happened there. So I try to look at history to see what happened to the people who made it through. What did they do to make it through? And I started thinking, if nobody's working, and things stop going, the people that are sitting at home, the kids are there. After a while, people are going to start saying, well, I got to go to the bank. I got to get my savings account, And then you have to worry about, are there going to be runs on the bank? Is my money going to be there? What do I need to do in that case? Do I need to, like Grandma used to do, get some money and put it in the mattress? Or
I've heard of stories where if there's an economical fall like this, that banks will limit how much of your money you can get out of the bank.
Yeah, I think Sister Sue, I think that's $150,000 per day. And yes, and that's even if you got $2 million in the bank, you can't pull more than $150,000. We seen that. I seen that in 07, 08.
Oh my gosh, that's
yes,
horrible.
where they would turn it. We had lines lined up in the bank in our area, in North Carolina, and they wouldn't allow you like every 3 days to come in and take up to $150,000. Anything under that, it's up to the discretion of the bank if they want to let you pull that type of money out.
Wow.
So is anybody concerned about in the next couple of weeks what's going to happen? Financially. I mean, people are gonna, that paycheck that they were looking for this Friday, it's not gonna be there.
So we decided we're gonna take some money out before all this hits. So we left some in the bank. But we took a lot of it out.
No, I think that's a good move, because you never know what the bank industry is going to do due to this COVID-19.
That's right.
There's no telling. I mean, ATMs could stop. They may limit you from the ATM machine. Well, let me rephrase that. They do have a limit on the ATM machine. I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, I think anywhere to like maybe 1,500 or 1,000, depending on what bank you bank with. But getting back to Chris's question, some of the things that Lil Bit and I are doing here in Las Vegas is even though we have to go to our jobs and do what we do because of the type of job that we have, we just try to stay sanitized as much as possible, meaning this. I bought boxes of latex gloves.
Right.
So when I went to the ATM machine, I had my gloves on, pressed the buttons and used everything with that. I don't take them off until I come home. When I'm on my job, our supervisors gave us some hand sanitizers to have in our vehicles, and just little preventive maintenance like that can help out a lot and help deter the thing.
Well, D-Lo.
Yes.
D-Lo, let me add to that. I know you got the gloves on, but the biggest threat is cross-contamination. So once you get to touching everything and you got them same gloves on, you now become a spreader. So even with gloves on, I still recommend you guys use hand sanitizer on the gloves.
That's what I was just
getting ready to say.
So,
you took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. We do that.
For you guys don't know, I work in public safety as well. And I'm here in DC, and that's the biggest problem is the contact.
Right.
Like we said earlier, nobody is following the distancing and all of that. I don't know if you guys saw on the news, they shut the cherry blossoms down here in the city.
Yeah, I heard about that on
So nobody's really following it, but the biggest contamination is by touch.
Yeah.
You know, when you go out here, like you say, you're using your gloves and doorknobs. That's how we get the most contamination, and people putting their hands on their face and their body. So I think that's a great thing, but just use the hand sanitizer along with the gloves.
Good point.
Well, the problem is, one of the problems is we're so conditioned, you know, to doing things with our hands all the time, scratching our nose, rubbing our eyes. We're just so conditioned to it. And you know, I'm 56 years old, and so I've been doing that for 56 years. So you can't tell me that I got to stop doing it at this age and think that I'm going to be able to automatically stop because I'm going to die. And so, you know, we just really got to, you know, in the absence of being able to not do that, then we need to practice, you know, cleanliness and washing our hands frequently.
Wiping down our phones and electronic devices.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're putting them up to our face, you know.
Yeah, I went into work last Friday, and I hadn't been there in quite some time, but they called me back. So as soon as I got into the office, I got sanitizer wipes, and I completely wiped everything down: keyboards, phones, the countertops, everything. And, you know, I hate to do that because, you know, I don't want to think that my friends are, you know, infected or anything, but you have to.
Well, they might be.
You have to. Exactly. That's the problem. You know.
You have to assume everybody has it. That's just. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, you just have to.
Good point, composer. Good point, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kills me not to be able to see my grandkids and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And have to stay away from them. And, you know, it kills me to have to go, you know, visit my parents and talk to them through the glass, you know, but that's, you know, this is life as it is for right now. We're just going to have to assimilate to it. And, you know, for however long, you know, I'm hoping that as quickly as this thing came, it's going to leave. But we have to do our part for that to happen.
That's correct. That's correct. And the quicker that we adhere to the mandate, the mandatory curfews and things of that nature, the quicker we can start to go back to the normalcy, because the longer we draw this out, D-Lo, Sister Sue, Brother Cowboy, everything you all were just talking about the banks, everything else, that will, it's not a matter of if, it will come into play. We know where we live. We know what this country is driven on, power and money. They are going to protect that. The powers that be are going to protect that at all costs. And if we don't do our part, there will be implementation of things that take us all the way into draconian measures. It won't be a question about it.
Yeah. Composer, I think you're 100% right. But I think the only way we're going to slow this thing down, we need to get people tested. And that's what the whole holdup behind everything. Because once you can narrow this thing down to who has it, the likelihood of them spreading the virus will go down tremendously. So testing to me is one of the key components.
Yeah, but the problem is the federal government, and then and it trickles down to our local level leaders, governors, and mayors. They pushing back. We can't test people who aren't critical, people who don't need to be hospitalized. If you just have the symptoms or whatever the case may be, you call it, stay at home and self-medicate and social distance and do all of those things. But they keep saying they don't have the test. I actually agree with you that as many people that can be tested as possible would be great, but if they tell us they don't have the test, what do we do?
So if you look in China, the only thing they were able to do more than us is they were able to test. So here in DC, we actually setting up for drive-through testing. They got the National Guard assisting us, and our local departments here, Department of Health, they're actually setting up testing. And I think once we can get a hold of testing everybody, I think that's when you're going to start to see the curve go downward.
That's true. And composure, that's a good topic, because Sister Sue, my heart goes out to you and your profession, because those folks are getting exhausted.
Well, I tell you,
there's not enough nurses, doctors, and right now I've seen reports where they're looking to the military, which they should, and getting those nurses and doctors and even
That's
people
right.
that have retired and asking them to come back. Hey, can we use your services? And what's so unique, man, I took a break from my master's program in emergency management, and we have these tabletop discussions, you know, learning and in the event or what if. And some of these scenarios were based off a virus or a toxic chemical or something like that. And to actually be living in it and dealing with it now is so surreal. It's unbelievable, because it comes down to proper communication, planning, personnel, and just trying to get the services out there. That's why, Composure, you're right. I just wish we had enough tests. As far as I'm concerned,
how is it that we don't have enough testing? Where are we getting the stuff from?
And you know, I wish I had an answer. I don't know, but what I do realize, and I'm sure you all do too, our country needs to tighten up our belt as far as, you know, bringing our industry back. I mean, meaning factories, companies.
To make
let's start making these parts overseas, and let's bring it home to the good USA. You know,
that's right.
And let's open up some factories, some companies.
But see, our medical
stuff, you know,
our medical professionals, they're having to use and reuse, and some of them are getting infected because of it.
I just got to say this. I've just got to say this. I think that one thing, you know, you can take a bad situation and learn something good from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that this whole situation is a time for people to understand where priorities lie.
Yes, ma'am.
No doubt about it.
When our country can pay athletes as much as they do to bounce a ball or throw a ball, yet we can't get enough PPE in the hospitals or ventilators.
Right.
We can't get enough ventilators.
That's it.
That shouldn't even be a discussion.
Right.
There should never be an issue on whether we have enough medical supplies and equipment to provide for our country. So we are a land of wealth. And the money's there. It's just not being spent right.
You're right, Sister Sue. It's all about power.
You're absolutely right. And if I may, I want to applaud the guys that were on the live with Chris yesterday. I watched that video today.
Yeah, that was
Thank God to you. I think Mark, D-Lo, Fab One. I'm not sure Jason. I don't think Jason was. But you guys that were on yesterday, you were bold in your conversation and your articulation of how the Lord has to be first in our lives, Sister Sue, just to piggyback off of what you said. If you don't think that this situation is not making people take stock and inventory of their lives and what's most important,
That's right, Capote.
You're totally missing the positive component that can come out of all of this negativity. Because right now, it doesn't matter your color. Right now, it doesn't matter your socioeconomic status. It don't matter what your job title was.
That's right.
It does not matter. At this point right now, it don't matter how many accessories you got on your gold ring right now. It matters not. And we've got to take stock. We as a people have got to understand that right now we have to hold on to those that we love. And Mark and some other time I got to go visit my dad, my mom too. But we got to hold it. Now, if you don't tell the people that you love them in any other fashion, you better tell them now. Every day, every opportunity, if it just crosses your mind, call somebody.
Composer, preach.
You know, you've got to do it. I mean, that is so important. And I applaud you guys. I applaud Chris for allowing it to come forth, because in this country, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna be like you, Sister Sue, I'm just gotta say it. We're so scary and tippy-toeing around everybody. We don't want to offend. I don't care. Lord and Savior is the head of this house that you see behind you right now.
That's right.
What
That's right,
we're gonna do is what the Lord said. I don't care about your denomination. I don't care if you pray 5 times, turn around, spin around with a hula hoop. As long as you hold the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ as your Savior, let's move forward, because this is bigger than all of us. And we all have to work together to make it through. I can't do it without you. You can't do it without me.
That's right.
We've got to get back to that.
That's right.
We got to put him first.
We as a country need to put the Lord back in I mean,
Got
we took
everything.
him out of schools. We took,
Mhm.
and see, this is
Right.
what you get.
That's it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Jesus is
That's
the
right.
reason.
Right.
We have to
Right.
put him back in our lives.
Right.
You have
Got to put him first. That's right.
You got to study the word. You got to get in the word and just study it.
Let it
And live
resonate in you. Let it resonate in you, because
Yeah,
And,
you
and,
got
Brother
to
Cowboy, and Brother, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off. Once you study it, you want to know what your greatest testimony is to the Lord. It ain't going to church. It ain't even giving your time. Live it.
live it.
Live it.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it
Right.
says.
Live
Because if you live it, you tithing, you doing all of those things, you helping your fellow man,
Right.
become second nature. If
That's
you
right.
live it.
right.
Just
Mhm.
be a
No,
living
if you just
testimony. Because in the
there you go.
Lopez,
That's
There
right,
you
a
go.
living
There you go.
testimony. That's right.
Right.
One body, but many members, and we all have a function. We're all important, and
That's right.
it's just. And again, like I said, when I saw that video of the live you guys did, I just applaud you for
Yeah, it was
sounding that
wonderful.
same thing.
Yeah.
That and the way you guys articulated that was absolutely spot on. And it's just for everybody watching on Facebook, everybody that will watch once Chris loads this on the YouTube. None of this is scripted. I've never met any of these people on this chat right now, and I feel like it's family. And
That's what I'm talking about.
that's what. Listen to me. And maybe if not for COVID-19, maybe I still wouldn't know these people. Who knows? Who knows?
Mhm.
True.
Who
You know
knows?
Let's
what?
take
You know
that.
what? This thing that we're doing, if you got God in it, like I was telling Chris, if you got God in what you're doing, you will not fail.
No.
You can't fail.
Correct.
Period.
You see
No
what
matter
I'm
how
saying?
hard it gets. No matter
That's
how
right.
hard it gets. No matter how
You
difficult it
cannot
gets.
fail.
Mhm.
Right.
If you see, I Jesus is my driver. I'm in
Yes,
the
sir.
passenger seat of my life.
Come on, sir.
And he's driving, you know,
Yes,
he
sir.
orders
Mhm.
my
Yes,
steps,
sir.
you know.
Right.
I
Yes,
walk
sir.
crooked sometime and she lets me know, you know, but
Mhm.
I let her know your husband loves the Lord Jesus Christ, so we gonna
Mhm.
be all right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Be all right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Amen.
That's it.
We got to do that, because in the Lopez house, Joshua 24:15, man, all day. All day. We will serve him all day. Yes, sir.
That's it. That's
All
it.
day.
That's it.
All day.
Caliente, you done started something, brother.
Well, quiet as it's kept, man. I promise you, while y'all sitting here talking, and I'm just being blessed by what you guys are saying. My Facebook live feed went down, and I'm trying to get it back up. I'm doing something that probably never been done, having 9 people on live at the same
You overwhelmed the
time.
system.
Crash the system.
Hey y'all.
I got a
Chris broke
question.
Facebook.
I got a
Chris broke
question.
Facebook.
I want to know how each one of y'all are surviving not riding your Gold Wing every day.
Oh, it's tough.
It's tough.
Just that we're not riding.
It's tough.
There you go.
Well, Sister Sue, I'm gonna be back on my. Unfortunately, I'm not a Gold Wing rider. I'm blessed.
That's all right.
Like Compose,
Oh, that
I
sounds.
put
Hey, that's
I
an
put God
affliction
first
all
in
of its
everything
own,
I
honey.
do. So I'm gonna be back riding my BMW come Thursday. I'm gonna have
Oh
the
well, I
next
can't
5
say
days
nothing
straight.
about a
I'm commuting.
BMW.
Charles, we'll charge that to your head and not your heart, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, like,
You
like
know
our
why your
prayer, like our
Facebook went
prayer
down?
said, like our prayer
Chris?
said, like you can ride anything, even Chinese scooter. It don't
That's
matter.
right.
That's right.
No. The biggest thing is that Rose Canali. You roll down one hill and can hardly make it up the next one. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, you know why your Facebook went down live?
Man, I'm looking at. You guys.
Brother Cowboy, why'd it go down? What's up? Why'd it go down?
Well, see, the problem was we started talking about the Lord, and the devil
That's it.
don't like
Yes.
that. He's trying to shut it
Get 'em
down,
out.
but he ain't
That's
gonna
it.
shut it
That's
down.
it. He's
Yeah.
not
No,
gonna
We
sir.
shut
gonna
it
get
down.
it back up.
He's
That's
not gonna shut
right.
it down.
Yeah,
And if he don't get it back up, we gonna hit 1 million views on YouTube tomorrow.
That's right.
That
That's
part
right.
right there, Composer. That part right there.
the good thing
That's
about it, I got my backup camera going. I'm actually
Well, I'm
recording.
going to tell y'all good night. I've had all
Okay.
the fun I can stand. I'm going to call it a night.
Sister
Okay.
Sue, we love you.
This is-
We love you.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do.
Thank
Sister
you.
Sue.
I appreciate all of you guys, man. Just taking time out your busy schedules. I know you guys got a lot of things you could be doing right now with your wives and girlfriends or boyfriend. I don't know if some of you may have some boyfriends, but no, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. But I appreciate you guys taking time out your busy schedule to try to help me get this this Facebook feed out, this live feed on YouTube, to get this video out. Like I said, I've been working hard trying to get this done. I thought I had all my I's dotted, and I thought I had all the T's crossed, but they done threw a wrench in my gears. So it timed out on Facebook. It will not let me back in. I don't know.
All right.
I got 9. I got 9.
It's all good, Chris. It's all good, brother.
But I've been hearing that the internet speed is down. I mean, it's low in some areas. So I hadn't checked my internet speed. I doubt if I'm having a speed issue. But
Look,
we are recording. We are recording. It's just not on Facebook.
Well, check this out, you guys. I don't know if y'all know this, but YouTube, because I'm a subscriber to that, and I have YouTube TV. Me and Lil Bit don't have Cox cable here on the West Coast or Direct TV. We got rid of all that, so we're just live streaming, which we love. But they're asking people to, because so many people are on, they're asking people to get off HD and just use normal recording. So I think that could be a contributing factor because the bandwidth is just getting overwhelmed, you know, because we don't quote unquote have 5G everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not everywhere. So that could be one of the problems.
Absolutely, the system could absolutely be overwhelmed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I got plenty of internet speed. My speed is fast. I mean, I'm right now I'm pushing 290 90 megs per second.
See, the devil was trying to stop the word of the Lord, but he can't do it.
He's not
can't
gonna stop
Brother Cowboy.
He cannot do it.
We're gonna get it out
He
here.
can't do it. He can't do it. Chris, I'm gonna say this. Chris, anytime you trying to achieve a goal and you don't run into any adversity, I'm gonna ask you to choose another goal because it probably ain't worth having. Anything that you do, you got to be able to overcome those obstacles, man. And man, this is a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
This is a blessing. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you got men of God on here. You know, they talk about how a lot of times we're missing from our children's lives. We're missing from the church. You know, just men in general, black, white, Asian, whatever. And here you got a platform where we are not ashamed of talking about the Lord and how He's the head of our life. You know, some people got, you know, all them brothers is punks on that. They man, they just saps. They just did. Listen, the world would do a lot of things to try to influence you and influence your mind. We are all standing fast on who we are, whatever station in life that may be. And you're going to encounter some obstacles, Chris, so don't worry about it. It's going to be a blessing. It cannot be stopped.